Izolda, I don't have all of the pages downloaded yet. I've got 20 or 30. In the meantime, it's attempting to load everything from the website, and if something's not available, then it hits the pages. So this is what we've got so far. So we couldn't actually see it that time. Normally it'll come up. There's a little splash screen that says Tarot. I'm not sure what you want it to be. I've got a little status bar at the top sort of telling people what to do. You pick a circle, it takes you to the tarot. I'm running it on a Mac, so you've got to kind of use your mouse to scroll on some of the pages oops, but it's pretending that it's an iPhone. On a phone or something, you would use your fingers to scroll, and then you can go back. I don't have it saving the information yet, so right now you can just sort of constantly get new readings. So the next thing I'm going to add is to save it and only give you one reading a day, but for testing it's much more convenient to be able to get a new one each time and make sure they all work. I haven't had any trouble with your web pages. They seem to be straight content. You've generally got this link on the bottom that shows it's like a link to Google, and they can tap on that and it brings up the Google web page just as normal. You still have your status bar up here and takes you back to there. I haven't really tried seeing how far into some of these things work. Like, I don't know what's going to happen on this MP3 that you've got linked there. Apparently it works fine. So that's where we are, and I will let you know as I make a little more progress. If you've got suggestions about what should be on that little splash screen where it said tarot, what exactly you want to say here at the top, or up here, I can change those. You can't really get too much more text than what is already there, simply because it's a title. And I think right now it's simulating an iPhone 6 Plus. It should scale dynamically to whatever you want to pick in terms of devices that they install it on. Again, this is just an iPhone solution right now. And on some of the smaller devices, the circles get kind of jammed together. I don't know whether you can kind of see. If I can get my phone to focus. The circle images are sort of a little too big for their spaces, and I've got to add some logic yet. I can dynamically scale them and make them smaller so that they all fit. That said, the size that they're sort of taking up is what Apple recommends as the minimum size for a button to be able to distinguish which one you're tapping. And they've been known to complain if you make your buttons too small. But I guess if that happens, we can just say that we don't support the iPhone 4 because of the screen size or something. So I'll post this up to YouTube and send you a link, which obviously you've gotten because you're watching it. So I hope you enjoyed it. Send me some feedback. Let me know what I can tweak, fix, change. Make sure I've got sort of the gist of it. Again, the idea is after you read one of these and go back, you're always going to get the same one on the same day, and probably maybe after you've picked one, I can change this to be, reread your daily, or reread today's reading or something, so that they realize they're getting the same reading over and over and over again, and that they've got to come back tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe you have an idea about that. And then in terms of the suggestion that the guy at work had about about ads versus a 99-cent thing, let me know. I think the ad would appear like the bottom little bit of this would be the ad, and then the whole part that scrolls would be completely above it. So no matter how much you scroll, the ad would always be sort of at the bottom, kind of like the title bar is always at the top. And I've never done ads, but the guy at work offered to give me a code snippet to put it in and do it. I don't know if you have any control over what kind of stuff gets advertised, and how important that is. So there you go. Given that it's an app, I'm not sure some of these little text things are super appropriate. Like, oh man, I'm glad I pulled this card today. In my personal life, I've just had a couple of epiphanies that because you're sort of talking about you. I mean, maybe that's what you want. I don't really know. I don't want to judge the content. I just thought maybe you might want to reread some of the ones that are on your web page, and consider the context and where they're going to be at. Maybe these are only for your clients. I don't have any idea. So thanks, and send me some feedback. Thank you.